on The Voice, you obviously spoke about like police brutality and all that stuff, dealing with racism. Um, how did like what went on with like George Floyd earlier last year and all that play a role into you putting that on the album?
The crazy thing is, I wasn't even trying to make a song like that. Like the day it happened, or the next day, I had a conversation with my grandmother, and then like me and her had like a real conversation about like what was going on, and then like everything that's in the song is like the real conversation me and her had. Like she's telling me like how she's seen all this stuff, and like she's telling me like there's change, and like from what she's seen, and like it's getting better, and I'm literally like looking at her like this stuff is happening every day, it's not getting any better. So then after we had that conversation, like we left it alone, and then she came up to me. She was like, she had heard Nick Cannon. He had made a song. She loves Nick Cannon, but she had heard he made a song about it, and then she was like, you know what you should do? You should make a song about it if that's really how you feel. But then I brushed it off. It was like, I'm not gonna make a song about this. Mm-hmm. So then one day I had hit up Ben YC, you know Ben?
Yeah, of course.
And then I told him, I was like, yo, can you make a beat? I'm trying to talk about this. And then he was like, yeah. Ended up not happening, and then I was in the studio one day. I heard that beat, that's on the song, and then I just started writing to it, and then it just happened. It just so happened, like that's what I was saying.
And KG's was he there with you, or
he wasn't? He wasn't even supposed to be on the song. It's crazy. Every time we go to the studio, me and him don't have things planned. We just show up, no beat, and like we just go. So then I'm telling him, I'm like, yo, I got this song. It's like a little baby shit, but it's a little different. He was like, bro, you can't be doing no Black Lives Matter shit. Cause he's thinking I'm talking about like some marching music and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, it's nothing like that, just watch. So I'm recording it, boom. I'm looking through the window, I'm looking at his face. He's like, nah, Unique is like, nah, this shit is hard. Mm-hmm. So then KG's, he comes to me, he's like, yeah, let me get on this. So I was like, all right, let me hear what you gotta say. And then he don't write shit. That nigga don't write shit. I don't know how he don't do that, but every time we in there, he just goes in and just goes off. So it's like, nah, we gonna keep that on there.
Nah, so you said you did write that song?
Yeah, that's the one that I wrote.
Yeah. So since we're on this topic, has there ever been like a specific moment that you could remember where you had to like face something like what you're talking about in that song?
Back when I used to live in the Bronx, the conversation that I had with my pops before, it was like how you should act when you get into interactions with police. And like at that time I never experienced anything, and he's telling me this, I'm just like, all right. He's like, you're supposed to say yes sir, just so you could get out of the situation. But anything severe, no. I've been stopped and like ridiculed sometimes, or just cops trying to play games with me. Like actually out here, one time I had got pulled over. It was probably like 1 a.m. I was going to McDonald's at the time. And the cop pulls me over, and then he's just like, where you going? You know, the regular questions. And I'm telling him so I can get out of there as soon as possible. So another cop pulls up on the other side, and he's like, so we're going to play a game. Because he's asking me, why am I pulling you over? I'm like, I don't know. So he's like, all right, I'm going to give you 3 chances. If you don't get it right, I'm going to ask you to get out the car, and I'm going to arrest you. So I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I waited at the light and everything, so I'm like, I'm confused. So at the time, I was with somebody else, and like, they was trying to give the cop attitude. This other person was white, so I'm telling them like, chill out. Like I'm nervous. So I'm looking at the cop like I really don't know what's going on. Right. He was like, do you drink? Do you smoke? I'm like, nah, I don't do any of that stuff. And then the person next to me, they still yelling at the cops. I'm like, yo, chill out. I'm trying to get out this situation.